Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sport, and Merry Christmas on behalf of the Let's Talk Sport team. Now, it's been a bit of an early Christmas present, or disaster you could say, for Manchester United. What a strange week it's been, especially for myself as a Manchester United supporter and employee at the club. But over the week we have finally found out that Jose Mourinho has been sacked. And then literally within just over 24 hours, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the legend that is for Man United, has become the interim coach. Now, I don't think anyone was ever expecting someone like Solskjaer to take up the role for Mourinho. But, I think at this moment in time, it looks as though we're going to find out who the actual successor will be in the summer once the season is over and done with, come May. And really, first of all, for Mourinho, I'm to be honest, I'm truly gutted it didn't work out for him. I was, as you could tell from the Let's Talk Sport shows, I was quite a supporter for Mourinho, no matter what the results were. I believe in this modern era in football, it's not just the manager. They are there to buy the players, to guide the players, and to tell them what to do on the pitch. That is completely right, but at the same time, the players have to do their bit on the pitch, and my problem was this group of players of United that we've got at the moment are just not doing it. No matter how much money they make, they can't seem to get a simple job done. I mean, Paul Pogba missed a sitter against Valencia last week. Lukaku has missed opportunities that no world-class striker would ever miss. If this guy's to prove himself to be a world-class striker, he's not shown it for me at Old Trafford at the moment. And at times you can always blame Mourinho. With Mourinho, we've heard some stories since it's some stories that have come out since Mourinho has been sacked. But at the end of the day, I think the guy's laughing. 20 million quid for being sacked. I think I read the other day that all the sackings he's had as a manager, he's made just under $50 million. And that's just for being fired. Imagine how he's done by being successful. Not a bad career either way, even if he's not winning trophies at the moment. But what also makes me laugh is that Mourinho has been more successful than Jurgen Klopp and Mauricio Pochettino put together, and both of those managers have been at their clubs longer than Mourinho was at Man United. Mourinho won more trophies than Jurgen Klopp and Pochettino, and the win success, I believe, was higher as well. So this is why I was always a Mourinho fan. I always thought he was very successful in his history in the last 20 years or so. May not have worked out at Manchester United, but this to me is we haven't solved the problem since Sir Alex Ferguson left us in 2013. And let's not forget, it wasn't just Sir Alex Ferguson that left us. It was David Gill, the genius of a chief executive he was at Manchester United. They both left at the same time, and that was double success, and then losing both of them at the same time was really a shot to the foot. A lot of people say Fergie was responsible for the fact that the club has gone downhill since he left his job, but I honestly think the guy deserved to retire, and he did it at the right time by ending it on a high. Moving on 5 years, we've had David Moyes, 10 months. That was never going to work out. I think at the time that Man United looked at it and think, get rid of Moyes, it's just not the selection we thought would work, bring in someone else. Van Gaal, we all thought that might be a little bit better. Turned out it wasn't really much better. Okay, he won an FA Cup, but the Cup run, let's be frankly honest, no disrespect to the teams we played, it was not really difficult. Crystal Palace actually gave us a good final. We only just beat them in extra time, so just showed how poor we still were, I felt. But we look at it now where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is our man after Jose Mourinho, and it is a feel-good factor. Everyone's saying it. It's fantastic to see the legend himself come back to the club. He was there for 11 years. He won us the Champions League, probably the greatest goal in Man United's history, to secure the treble, the very first treble and last treble, and the only English team to do the treble, to score on that last minute at the Nou Camp against Bayern Munich. You just couldn't have written a better script for someone like Solskjaer, the babyface assassin. He certainly hasn't lost that touch from the press conferences we've seen so far at the club. And it's an interesting one. I wasn't expecting it to be him. I think what's really nice to see is that Mike Phelan is back, and he will be the assistant between now and the end of the season. And let's not forget what Mike Phelan did at Manchester United. He was one of the coaches that won with Sir Alex Ferguson the Champions League back in 2008. So he's had a lot of success as a coach as well as a player. And Solskjaer will certainly learn that from him as a coach at being Manchester United. Sir Alex Ferguson is still up with the board and all that, and is still part of the club, so he'll certainly give them some maybe some advice. Maybe we'll see. I don't know how much involvement Fergie has these days with any Man United manager that comes up, but I think really between now and the end of the season, as a United fan, it's really more just let's see how we do. We've got nothing to lose now. We're 11 points off top 4 now. I honestly think we've got a good group of players here on paper. They haven't proven themselves at Old Trafford, and I think this is it now, because as I just said before, Mourinho has to take responsibility of what happened, but the players have got to take it as well. Now, if they want to get the fans back on their side, they've got to do it, because if they don't, then we're learning more here of what the problem is, and it's not just our manager. Mourinho has left the ship, and now it's down to the players on whether they'll get kicked out or not, because, January's coming. I don't think there'll be any transfers, no big ones anyway. Not when we're looking for a new permanent manager come the summer. But if we're going to look at the replacements, I think the obvious one, and Spurs fans will not like me for saying this, but it's Mauricio Pochettino. You look at his CV and he just fits the bill for Manchester United. He's been at Tottenham Hotspur for a good 4 years now. He's changed the club and made them look like a club that no one takes the mick out of anymore. No one knows what to expect when they go to Tottenham or Wembley at this moment in time. There's a new stadium coming in though, and with all that success he's brought to the club over the last 4 years, the only thing that's missing is a trophy. Now they're in the League Cup semi-finals for next month, and they could win that, and that's my concern. If I was Pochettino and I got offered a job at Manchester United, the risk is, do you want to join a club that is getting known for sacking managers and not getting the time? Do you go with that, or do you stay at Tottenham Hotspur and carry on? It's very easy to stay at Spurs in my eyes, but I think when a club like Manchester United come for you, it is a massive opportunity for anyone like Pochettino. So I'm sure what we've seen in the press conferences with him so far since Mourinho has left, he's got a lot of thinking to do ahead of the summer. But as I said, new stadium and all that, it's going to be a very tough decision for him. I think for Man United, they know what to offer him, but it's whether or not he'll go with it. And then looking at the other replacements, I think that overall there's 3 replacements. There's Mauricio Pochettino, he's the top of the ladder. Second of all is Zinedine Zidane. I'm not that convinced by Zinedine Zidane. I'm not saying he's a bad manager or anything, but he's had the team in front of him at Real Madrid. But he guided them to 3 Champions Leagues, which you can't miss. And then you look at the third one, and for me, it's Eddie Howe at AFC Bournemouth. But with what Eddie Howe has done, with the team he's got players there that were with him when they promoted from the Championship. This was 3 years ago. 3 years ago. And the fact that they are still there, performing their best, and they're in the top half of the Premier League right now. Bournemouth are incredible to watch. And I think you got to thank Eddie Howe for that. And for Eddie Howe, if he became a Man United manager, I'd welcome it. He's not my first choice, but this is a guy that has come out of nowhere and has become a very good manager. So for him to be a Man United coach, Sir Alex Ferguson came out of nowhere, maybe Eddie Howe. But as those are my top 3, there's talks of Laurent Blanc being the next manager. I can't see that happening. I think he's an outsider. Another one for me would be Diego Simeone. I think he's a very good manager. He's fantastic for what he's done for Atletico Madrid. But I mean, hey, if he does come, we've got to get Griezmann. But I can't see that happening. I can't see him coming to England yet. I wouldn't be surprised if he does go to England at some point. I thought he would have gone to Arsenal last summer. Instead, it was Emery. So, a lot to think about over the next few months for Man United. But I'm excited, let's get on this Solskjaer bandwagon, shall we? And, enjoy what can happen, because all they can do now is have positive football and see how the players react to a new coach in front of them, especially Paul Pogba and Romelu Lukaku. Anyway, those are my thoughts of what's happened at United this week. What do you think at home? Are you a United fan? Are you not? What do you think holds for Manchester United for the rest of the season? I'll say this now. Roberto Di Matteo, it happened with him at Chelsea with only 3 months when he got the job, and he won the Champions League and the FA Cup. Could happen. It's a big ask, but it could happen. It's been done before. So what do you think? What are your predictions for the rest of United's season? Comment below and remember to subscribe to Let's Talk Sport for more of our videos. Thank you for watching.